Hotel Echo Lima Lima Oscar. I say good evening from Southeast London, England, from your host, your guy himself, the one and only and truly DLG Repping, otherwise short for Delhi London Guna Space Romeo Echo Papa Papa Indigo November. So, you know why I'm here? It's time for the review of our handsome victory over RC Lens, which finished Arsenal 6, RC Lens nil. Yes, Arsenal 6, RC Lens nils. RC Lens nil, should I say, or nils, same thing. Yeah, winning 6 nils, man. Wow, that was a ruthless performance from start to finish. The first half an hour reminded me of the vintage Arsenal. Complete invincibility, especially in that first half. We dominated, tore them to shreds, created opportunities against them. And you know what? There was up to 8, 9, maybe 10 players you could pick for man of the match. However, I think I've already got my man of the match in my mind, but I'm not going to reveal that yet. But before I go into it, yeah, show me love, joy, and respect, and smash the thumbs up like button. Show me love, joy, and respect by smashing the thumbs up like button for me, yeah? Smash them in abundance, yeah? I'd really appreciate that. Anything to support the channel. On top of that, yeah, show me love, joy, and respect. Show me love, joy, and respect. And speaking of that, share this channel virally all over the globe, especially to your friends and your relatives. If anyone's watching me for the first time tonight, yeah, or wherever you're watching around the world, welcome on board. You're more than welcome to share this channel amongst your friends and your relatives and tell them to share it amongst their friends and relatives, yeah? The comment section, I'd love to get your response to that epic 6-0 win. Arsenal fans, football fans, I mean, hardly any Lens fans. I do want you to drop a comment. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're watching as a neutral, drop me a comment. Give me your analysis of the game. I mean, I can give you an analysis of the Lens fans misbehaving, throwing flares onto the pitch, you know. And that being done, how do we know there weren't children around? Young children could have got seriously hurt. That is absolutely despicable and absolute disgrace. UEFA should definitely come heavy on them. But we're going to leave the negative and talk about the game itself. First 20 minutes, obviously Arsenal were on top. Kai Havertz got another goal. He's showing a decent on the form now. 2 goals in his last 2 games. Okay, but overall, he hasn't done enough to justify starting in the 11, let alone the 65 million price tag. Not for me. But yes, praise him where it's deserved. He's got on the score sheet, and that can only do his confidence a world of good. And if he does his confidence a world of good, you know, yeah, we'll try and get behind him as best we can. But it doesn't necessarily mean that we trust him. A goal for Jesus, Saka, Martinelli, Odegaard, and Jorginho penalty late on in the second half. What a rout. I mean, the second half, damage limitation. We allowed Lens to dictate ball possession a little bit because we took the foot off the pedal. And when you do that, yeah, you do become complacent. And luckily, we kept a clean sheet, saved by the post. A long shot from long range. Daria beaten all ends up, except the post. But that being said, yeah, we always looked at a threat going forward, and I don't think Longs could live with the pace of the Arsenal. I don't think they could live with the free flowing pace that we played with. We tore them to shreds. They know they were not in. They know they were nowhere near us on the night, our levels on the night, and obviously we've prevailed to the last 16. Who do you want in the last 16 of the Champions League? Leave it in the comment section below. I'll be interested to get your answers. But without further ado, let's get into the player ratings. In goal, David Raya. um, I can't recall him making a save in anger. 2 shots on target straight at him, or 1 or 2 shots on target straight at him. Um, great catches from crosses. I mean, he was more or less a spectator than a goalkeeper. I'm going to give him, just give him a 7 for the clean sheet, I suppose. Right back, Takahiro Tomiyasu, my man of the match. He's getting a 9. I think that's the best performance I've seen from Takahiro Tomiyasu live, watching him in the flesh. I mean, he was absolutely brilliant. I was screaming at the top of my voice for him to overlap Bukayo Saka. And when he did, he put in some fine crosses. And the cross that he put in for Odegaard's 5th goal, sublime. He was absolutely terrific. On the ball, defensively, 1v1 battles, he was completely, he was definitely on top. Yeah, shout out to one viewer who's watching. For me, Takahiro Tomiyasu gets a 9 out of 10. My man of the match. William Saliba. Well, what more can you say about him? There was probably one glimpses of there was, apart from the one time he gave the ball away, which shows that he is human. He is still a Rolls Royce at the back for me. Reads the game well. I mean, Eddie Wahi did do him for a turn, but to his credit, he kept going. He didn't allow it to affect his game, and his composure when he's got the ball and when he hasn't got the ball, well, sublime. Shout out to 2 viewers. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you're new. Yeah, do all of that for me. William Saliba, I'll give him a 7.5. His partner in crime, Gabriel dos Santos Magalhães. For me, I think he's been our best performing centre half in the since last season. I mean, he has the odd Bozo Jeans moment, but on top of that, yeah, I'm going to give him his 7.5. He was terrific in the air. All out action for me. I can't really criticize him as much yesterday night. I think there's no reason to criticize any Arsenal player for that matter. I'm going to give him a 7.5. Alexander Zinchenko, he was replaced at half time by Jakub Kuvia. I mean, he contributed a lot defensively. 1v1. I thought he got the better of the winger who he was up against. Going forward, with Zinchenko, once he inverts into the midfield, he is a different problem. I'm going to give him, I'll give him a 7. Right, in the midfield, Declan Rice, for me, without being spectacular, he still covered every inch of the blade of the grass for me, whether defensively, whether getting involved in the defensive play, spraying the passes about, especially putting the ball forward to the attacking players who could do damage. And for me, he is the insurance of the midfield for me, because he had an important job to do as a number 6, and I don't think he had to get out of first gear. He didn't get past first gear, should I say? I'll give him a 7.5. Martin Odegaard, first 20 minutes, didn't see much of him in the action, but as the game grew, he grew into the game. I thought he was absolutely out. I thought he was absolutely terrific as the game grew, and his goal was absolutely fabulous. Hit it first time on the volley through Takahiro Tomiyasu's cross. Put in a captain. He put in a more or less a captain's performance for me, and yeah, he still has the armband. Whether it's justified or not, that's a debate for another subject. But for me, I'm going to give him a 7.5. Kai Havertz, very decent game. Great tricks and flicks with the ball. I mean, the skill that he was possessing. I mean, it's amazing what a couple of goals can do to your confidence, and the confidence he had on the, especially on the left wing, where he's bamboozled the defender and gone past him. Wow, I mean, that's the best performance I've seen from Kai Havertz in the flesh. I'm going to give him an 8.5, possibly close to being man of the match here. But we'll get to the attackers. Bukayo Saka for me. Well, I'm giving him an, well, what can I give him? Before I give him a mark, what can I say? I mean, every time he had the ball, he was direct. It was the Bukayo Saka of old, the Bukayo Saka that excited us Arsenal fans. That's the Bukayo Saka of old who excites the Arsenal fans, goes direct at the wing back, shoots, scores, assists. I mean, there's no question about his physical strength. He really holds defenders off when on top of his game, and he looked on top of his game. And hopefully, we can get that for the rest of the calendar year from him, because he is one hell of a special talent. I'm going to give him an 8.5. Gabriel Martinelli, fine goal, fine individual goal in the first half. Direct, never stop running, whether with the ball or without the ball. I'm going to give him an 8.5. Gabriel Jesus, what a shift he put in. Never stop pressing, never stop running on the ball. I mean, well, you know what you're going to get with Jesus on the ball, and he was in the right place in the right place at the right time to get a striker's poacher's goal. I'm going to give him an 8.5. Now the substitutions, Kivior, I mean, he came on defensively solid, made 2 good slide tackles, one that I saw in front of me. I mean, in fact, 2 that I saw in front of me. And for me, yeah, very solid defensively as a standing left back, even though he's a centre half. I'll give him a 7. Benjamin White, 1v1, stood up to the winger. Yeah, he not only did he stand up to the winger, he matched him. I mean, he did his job defensively. Offensively, we know what we get with Benjamin White as well, especially in the second. Yeah, in the second half, he was overlapping Saka, which is no surprise, or Reece Nelson for that matter. And he did a he did a very reasonable job. I'm going to give him a 7. Eddie Nketiah, I didn't see enough from him in the time that he had. I think he had a short amount of time. So I'm going to give him a standard 5. Who else came on? Jorginho, he took his penalty well. Jay Stings, what you saying, my G? Yes, yes. Jay Stings, yes. What do you say? Yes, my man saying, met you at the Stan Kroenke process, which feels like a long time ago. Very happy how our club is going, and good to see you on AFTV regularly. Now, keep it up. Thank you, Jay Stings. Love, man. Love. Yeah. That protest. Oh, God. If ever I was seething and angry about the direction of where my football club was at that time, that was the moment. Jay Stings, shout out to yourself and your family around you. Yeah, getting on to after Nketiah, Jorginho. He came on, looked after the. Well, I'll tell you what, he played a stunning forward pass to Benjamin White, as I remember, and took his penalty well. I'm going to give him a 6. I think, no, you know what? I'll give him a 7. Just about a 7 for me. Who else came on? If anyone knows the 5th substitution, leave it in the comment section below. But I think I didn't see Trossard coming on. I know that we brought on Kiwior and Benjamin White. Anyone in the defence? No. Anyone in the midfield? For Declan Rice, Jorginho. Havertz stayed and played 90 minutes, as I can remember. Odegaard, I think he stayed and played 90 minutes, and that's the 4 substitutions. There might have been a 5th one, but leave it in the comment section below. Right, let's get on to the manager, Mikel Arteta. Team selection was right. I couldn't question. I had my doubts about Kai Havertz, but it proved dividends, and he justified the manager's choice to select him. I mean, I forgot to talk about Jesus' assist for Kai Havertz's goal. That's 8.5 as well with it. But with the way that we set up, 5-0 up at half time, I mean, it says it all. I mean, second half, all we had to do is just make sure we maintain control of the game, and we did that. Lens offered absolutely, well, apart from a shot on target or 2, they didn't offer anything, any threats of any worry. I'm gonna give Mikel Arteta a 9. Jay Stings, some good goals, but for me, the Odegaard one was the best. I think based on the technique, yeah, that was a beautiful volley. The technique was sublime. I mean, Havertz to Jesus to Saka, Martinelli's goal. I'll tell you what, that was a crisp goal. I think if I'm looking at the 2 of them, Martinelli or Odegaard's, I'd edge it towards Martinelli. I think he got the best goal of the game. Just the way that he weaved through a couple of defenders and curled in the right-footed beauty at the far post. So I'm going to give it to Martinelli by edging it towards him, Jay Stings. But you have your opinion. I respect that, and I hope I get the same in return. Right, the referee. I mean, he allowed the game to flow. Obviously, he was so less talked about. Did his job. Not too much to complain about. I mean, he went to the VAR monitor and rewarded a penalty, and he didn't hesitate to reward us a penalty. Whether it was a penalty or not, I haven't watched it back, but I'll look forward to watching it back once I get a moment. For me, I'll give the referee a standard. I'll give him a 7. The Arsenal fans, 8.5. You know, I have to say the Lens fans, from start to finish of that game, they got behind their team. But for me, it's just a minority of idiots who spoil it for the majority of their travelling supporters by throwing flares onto the pitch. That's disgraceful. That should be looked at by UEFA, and I think the heaviest punishment, as I said earlier, should come down on them. But that being said, I think the Arsenal fans were well behaved, got behind their team, of course, came out in their droves. Even in the cold, it was -2. And believe me, I felt sleepy, but I still stayed awake and watched the whole game for me. So, yeah, 8.5 for the fans. Right. Thank you. So thank you so much to Jay Stings for your comments. And I'm going to wrap it up here and say what a pleasure it is to have a comment from Jay Stings. What a pleasure it is to do a match day review based on ratings. So, ladies and gentlemen, to the boys, to the girls, I thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. I thank you so much for putting up with me as you always do. Do look after your friends. Make sure you look after your families. Make sure you look after yourself, which is always important. More peace, more love, more blessings again. You've already done know. As your host, your guy himself, we're going to chat again, yeah? And another thing, yeah? Like, comment, share, and subscribe, especially if you're new. Encourage your friends, relatives to do the same thing, yeah? And please be nice. And I do mean be nice. Cheers.